Yes, let's.
I thought this week was much easier.
Yeah,
I agree.
like it a lot more, yeah.
I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say.
All right. So who wants to share first?
Susie, why don't you start since you're hosting the Hangout?
Okay. So my example says the Pay It Forward Foundation, which I don't even know if is a real foundation, but the Pay It Forward Foundation promised to help out the Smith family with the bills from their child's cancer treatment. Because of this promise, the Smiths decided to enter their child into an experimental treatment. This treatment was not covered by the Smiths insurance plan. So, yeah, that was my example.
It's a good one.
All right, does anyone else want to share theirs?
I'll do mine. I accidentally deleted it off the Microsoft Word after I submitted it, so I'm just going to recite from memory. But basically I said, Tom is a principal at Austin High School, and he's been approached by a woodworking professional who has offered to start a woodworking program at the school. And being really excited, Tom started building a separate building off campus to where they could hold these classes, and he purchases a bunch of woodworking equipment, only to find out that this expert in woodworking has backed out for personal reasons after he spent thousands on all these tools and stuff.
A good one.
Sounds good.
That's mine.
I like it. I'll go next. I have to find my document really quick.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Moneybag visits the Fox Aquarium and sees that the fresh fish attraction is in need of more fish. He speaks to the board and promises them that he will make generous donations so the aquarium can purchase the new fish. He tells the aquarium to purchase the fish, and his donation will be made in the next 30 days to cover the cost of the purchase. The donation never happened.
I can't even said Moneybags. That's his name.
His name, Mr. Moneybag.
It works.
All right, I'll share mine. Jim owned a fishing business. Jim's boat was old, so he wanted to invest in a new one. So Jim went to Bob, who was a professional boat builder. Jim told Bob that he got a new contract, a very large market, and that he'd be selling fish. To. So he needed Bob build a boat for him. Jim told Bob he'd pay for the boat once the boat was completed. After Bob built the boat, Jim told Bob that he unfortunately wouldn't be able to pay him because the contract the market fell through. Bob sued John so that he could get the money that Bob promised him for building a very special boat.
That's a good one to do.
That is a good one.
I think it was much easier this week. I understood the principle.
I did too, yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot
So
easier.
whose do you guys want to use? Probably not Susie's, because we've used hers the last 2 weeks in a row.
Hers was a good one, though.
I like the woodworking one.
Okay.
I like the working one.
I like mine's so wordy. I don't like mine. It's wordy.
The only thing, though, is I've got to figure out how I can open it up and find it, because I had it on a Microsoft Word document, and then I closed out and didn't save it. So.
Oh.
You can't get it back. You can't go back into this quiz and get it. Are those closed?
Let me look real quick, see if I can get it. Sorry, give me 1 second. Can't believe I didn't save it. That's the only reason I put it in a Word document, was so I'd have it for our meeting, and then I wasn't thinking. Okay, I just pulled it up. Let's see. I don't think it's going to let me open it. If you guys want, I can retype it up and send it to Susie. Let me try a couple different things to see if I can get
Well, it just has to be typed into that temp. Oh, that's right. So Susie's doing it. I forgot. I forgot who was recording.
Sorry, guys. I don't think it's going to let me pull it up unless I try to figure out if there's a way. Usually there's a way to pull up, like, past Word documents, like recent activities, even if you didn't save it. I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
Oh.
So always use money bags.
Well, we could still use the woodworking one. I don't mind. It's just that Brittany will just have to type it up, and then when Susie sends out the document for us to just make sure everything looks good, it'll just be in there.
Okay,
So
I can do that. I'll start typing it up right now. It shouldn't take me very long.
Okay, so what else? What do we have to do now? We have to.
Explain the explanation of our example.
Okay. So the explanation is that a person who has made a gratuitous promise be held to it when the promise to his or her person justifiably is relied upon the promise. That's what the book says.
Okay, so the teacher, I don't remember his name.
Right. So the
Money, assuming that he would get the
right.
other guy would donate to it, or
Right. So according to promissory estoppel, who was the one that promised it, Brittany?
I didn't have a name for the woodworking professional, but we can name him. Tom is the name of the principal. Should we do Gary?
Sure.
Okay.
The Gary is
Gary. Who? I don't know.
Gary promised the principal Tom that he would send him this much money, and
for a new woodworking.
Well,
Yeah.
technically what he's offering is to be the professor for the class. He's not offering any money. He's just offering to teach the class.
So he's backing out of his being a professor.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We can change that if we want to, though.
No, that's fine because it says that it's a gratuitous promise. Does being a professor have to do anything with gratuity?
I think just the fact that he promised to provide a service, which the service was teaching.
Was he gonna do it for free?
No, well, I don't know.
In your head, was he going to do it for free?
Well, no, I don't think so.
Okay, so
Maybe we
has
can
to
have
find
it.
a new professor.
What?
So he has to find a new professor?
Yeah. But that doesn't seem like a good enough reason to sue him, though, you know?
Right.
Maybe should we just have it like he was, what were you thinking, that he was donating money to him?
Yeah, we thought he was donating money to have the woodworking building built.
Yeah.
Let's do that then. I'll kind of rewrite it to say that because that makes more sense.
Okay. So then the explanation would be Gary promised to donate money for a new woodworking facility.
And is it Gary or Jerry?
Gary.
Gary.
Okay.
Okay.
What else do you need, Susie, for your explanation why she types that up?
So we just have to explain our example and why he'd be able to sue him, I guess. So he backed out of donating the money for the new building. After, what was the principal's name? Tom. After Tom had spent the money to build the building.
Yeah. Because Tom relied on Gary's promise of the donation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what's next?
Okay, so now we just have to come up with our quiz question, which is always
the best part.
This is the best part of the whole world. You would think that we'd all think of that beforehand, but I don't know if I can do that.
It's harder that way, so we do it the hard way.
So we need the right one first?
Well, we have to come up with a question. So what's our question?
Oh, the question. So
This
this
is
could
an
be
example of
Right,
or
exactly.
promissory and then
primary. It could be the promissory estoppel. One could be a handshake agreement. One could be verbal agreement. Like different things that people like go to court for. Like you told me verbally.
So how do they even judge that though? Because like
I wondered the same thing while I was reading because it's like you can't prove that they verbally said
I thought
something.
that's why contracts are such a big deal, is because if you don't do this contract, then people can do what they want, type of thing. But
That's what I thought, but I don't know if that's why they bring in like witnesses, if there were witnesses. I thought the exact same thing. Well, I was like, well, what's the point of a contract if you can sue if you even if it's like a verbal agreement?
yeah.
So I thought the same thing.
Huh?
Yeah. I don't know. I would think like they would bring in like, I don't know.
I guess if it's just
Witnesses
super
and
obvious, like you definitely told this guy you would do that, type of thing.
Right.
Huh.
Are those? How many do we need, Susie? Promissory estoppel would be the one we're doing, and then a verbal agreement, a handshake agreement. Is it all we need? Do we need 3 of them or 4 of them?
We need 3 wrong answers and 1 correct. So
We need 1 more wrong answer. What's
what's-
another agreement? Which one?
okay, wait.
What's the question
So our
that
correct
you
answer
typed
is
up?
what?
Our correct answer is this is an example of
Oh. Then the answer is
promissory estoppel.
promissory estoppel, whatever it's called.
But the wrong answer then would be verbal agreement.
Okay.
Or you just look up legal terms
Right.
to make it sound like believable. Like this is an example of
An implied
an
in fact
arrangement.
contract.
A what?
An implied in fact contract.
Okay. And then so we
There's
just
lots
need
of different contracts in here. Another one would be
De facto.
de facto.
Is this a legal term I looked up? Dismissal with prejudice. Due process.
Okay, why not?
so de facto, is that what we wanted?
Type it in the comments so she can see what how it's spelled.
Pat likes. All right, let me scroll back up to it.
We could also put one of our wrong answers is that this case needs to go to mediation, so an agreement of who's at fault can be. Because really, it doesn't go to mediation.
Yeah.
But we could just say this will not hold up in court. Mediation needs to be.
So do we want
Did you
to?
guys already do the exam?
Yeah.
I haven't.
I'm putting it off as long as I can.
Yeah, me too.
I'm planning on taking it after this because then I have to go
Yeah.
take a different test after.
Ugh. You took it, Susie?
Yeah, I took it.
Was
Did
it hard?
take a long time.
It didn't take me the full 2 hours, but I didn't do great on it, so it probably should have taken me the full 2 hours.
2 hours? Oh shoot!
Yeah.
I'm better than that then.
Yeah, you have to like block out because it's timed, so you only get your 2 hours.
All right. I didn't read his open book and stuff.
Yeah, it's open. Everything, you just can't like talk to somebody, but like you can search stuff online. It says so.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's my gig. Sweet. I like that. Cool. I could do that.
Okay. So how many wrong answers do we have?
Okay, so we have our implied in fact contract. We have our verbal agreement, and then did we want to do the what
We
was
could
it?
do de facto.
De facto.
I don't know. I just found it.
What
Sounds
does that
cool.
even mean? What does that mean?
What does it mean?
Yeah.
It means Latin mean in fact or actually, something that exists in fact but not as a matter of law. Just some legal term.
Okay. So we need to give the feedback for all of these. So why our correct feedback? So it's our thing. Why is that correct?
Because it's promissory estoppel is a holdover from equity law that requires a person who has made a promise to be held to it. When the promisee relied upon the promise.
Guys, I just posted that in the group chat. Let me know if that looks okay.
Tom's the principal for all sides. Yeah, it works.
I like it.
Do you need to put something in there like just at the end, be like, so Tom sues Gary because he feels like he owes him the money?
So to like have a conclusion.
Or should we say not sue, but is Tom?
Tom feels like he needs the money, so he takes him to court. I don't know.
No, something like is Tom entitled to the money that Gary promised?
Well, what's the question we have now?
The question we have right now is, this is an example of blank.
So that's what I'm saying. If he says like, okay, Tom sues Gary, and then you'd be like, this is an example of, I don't know though.
But do you have to sue him to get it, or is it just a matter of law? Like, do you just take him to
Let's
court?
take him to court,
You have to
Yeah,
take
you
them
have
court.
to take
Yeah,
them
you
to
file a
court.
complaint and everything.
and usually that comes through suing.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's,
So you just want to add the is Tom entitled to the money that Gary promised?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you want to add that where?
So that should be the conclusion. Not, and it can't. I guess it can't be a question.
you just
Yeah.
say you can say Tom feels like he is entitled to the money that Gary.
Or you could say Tom takes Gary to court because he is entitled to the money. And then
Okay.
this is an example of.
Yeah, that's better. That works.
Okay. So that's our example and our explanation, our question. So now we just need, and we have our correct feedback. We have our correct answers completely done. We've done the feedback and like the actual answer. So we just need the feedback for our first wrong answer, which was a verbal agreement. So why is a verbal agreement not the correct answer?
Probably because it was stated in words, not in a written contract. Or Gary
Isn't
wanted.
that
I don't know
what
exactly.
Thomas Osapo is though?
Yeah, I know it is. It's a verbal contract. Technically, it seems like that's what it is, because there's no contract involved.
Yeah.
So that's probably not a wrong answer, right?
No, so that's
That was
probably
Like the definition
most
of the
correct.
right answer.
Doesn't it? Because it has to have the, like, it has to. Never mind. I've got to look it up before I start talking.
Okay, so do we just want to change that really fast then to a different one, since that's technically not a wrong answer? It's not the most correct one, but it's not wrong.
Yeah.
I don't like those kind. Those are always the worst though for people.
Okay, so we'll get rid of verbal agreement then.
I think so. Maybe we should come up with a new one.
Let's do
You could do a tort.
a torch is good.
There you go.
Tort? Okay. Okay, so why is a tort the wrong answer?
The definition of tort is a civil, not criminal wrong, a negligent or intentional injury against a person or property, with the exception of breach of contract.
Okay.
Okay, so torts don't cover breaches of contract?
I guess so. I guess so. That'd work perfect.
Well, it's also related to crime. He didn't really commit a crime.
Yeah.
He just broke a promise, basically.
Right.
Okay. So now we need wrong answer number 2, which we have as the implied in fact contract.
Implied. Can I look that one up? Implied in fact. Excuse me. Um, an implied impact. Hold on. I gotta find out where I saw that in the book.
Was it in one of our videos? Was that what that came from?
I don't remember where I saw it. Oh, what about if we use the term illusionary promises?
Okay.
An
What was
illusionary
that? Is that in the book, Michelle?
Yeah, on page 107.
Illusionary promises. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is.
An illusionary promise, it says it's not an actual promise. The promiser offers to do something only if he or she wishes or needs to.
That's a good one.
Okay, so the feedback for why that's wrong would be
That an illusionary promise is not an actual promise, basically.
okay.
I feel like we have to go a little more into detail with that one.
Okay, so you want to just do the whole definition? The promiser offers. So it's not an actual promise. Who made the promise? Gary?
Yeah, Gary made the promise to Tom.
Gary didn't feel he needed to fulfill his promise or
Yeah.
make his donation.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, so an illusionary promise is not a real promise.
It's not an actual promise.
Okay.
Gary did not wish, or Gary did not feel he needed to fulfill or to something his donation. I can't think of the word. Gary didn't feel he needed to
Fulfill his promise to donate to the school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you feel like he was entitled or feel like he was liable?
Right, because it says something that only the or needs to. So Gary just didn't feel he needed to fulfill his promise.
Okay. Okay, and then so we only need the last feedback on why de facto is not correct.
That's Will.
All right.
Will, who I'm going to be your mother right now. You look like a gangster.
I'm a gangster. Not BYUI. Latin meaning in fact or actually. Something exists in fact, but not as a matter of law. I think that's actually hard. Maybe we shouldn't do that. Let me look at it.
How would we just explain that?
Okay, just say de facto has nothing to do with has nothing to do with a, say, breach of contract.
Or a matter of law.
Or a matter of law.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it. We have all the spaces filled and everything. So good job.
Wow. We
When we
finished
know
that
what we're doing,
fast?
we're a lot faster.
We're getting good.
Practice makes
Are we-
perfect.
Are we required to meet for a whole hour though?
No, I read somewhere that it wasn't. She said at the beginning it would take us the full hour, but towards the end it wouldn't take a full hour.
It's supposed to be used too for like studying if you want. If we felt like we needed to study for something.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like your little study. Do you guys go to the Tuesday? I didn't. The Hangout and Air on Tuesday or whatever? Or is that tonight?
Yeah.
It's really late here. Like it's at 10 o'clock. It starts here.
How long does it go?
It goes for an hour, or at least that's what the last one did because I went to it.
Did she just like talk about review or what?
Yeah, so for this one, she kind of, well, this was the first one, so they may change, but for the first one, she just talked about, like, the case study and kind of, like, what she expected out of it. And that's posted online. She posts all of them
How
online.
did you do on your case studies?
I got the decision wrong.
I don't know. Have they graded it? I haven't seen anything come up on mine.
Oh, I don't know if I have or not.
Okay, cool.
You recorded this, right? Susie?
Yes. It says it's live on mine. But I have a question. How do I post it to the community? I know how to.
Don't get a virus on our computer.
Okay.
That was the worst.
So
Holy
when you go to
cow.
the community, you click the little video recorder button, the little camera, and then it says upload from your YouTube. There's a tab and you want to do your YouTube, but it should have this one because it's listed under you.
Okay.
And you need to make sure it's public because if we hit private, no one can view it.
Okay.
We've learned every week. Did you
Okay.
change it, Will?
Was it private?
Yeah, I messaged you and said it's private. You need to change it.
Shoot. I never saw that message.
That's okay. Maybe I really didn't send it. Maybe in my mind I did.
I think you sent it because I saw it, but maybe
You